Hey everyone, it's Sam Bryant from Bryant Taylor Law. I'm here to answer the question, should my startup be a corporation or an LLC? Before we get into it, click our link below to our website. We are a business law firm that specializes in starting businesses, and we also help business partners resolve partnership disputes. So the best way to answer the question of should my startup be a LLC or a corporation is to tell my own story. Before I started the firm with my partner, um, I was a part of a startup and I came on after they formed. So when I came on as a co founder, they were an LLC, a Florida LLC, and it was a biomedical startup, so very technical. And we wanted to raise money. And we went through pitch competitions and met with investors and were quickly told after we retained our own counsel that we needed to form a Delaware C Corporation. And this was because investors expected startups to be Delaware C corporations when they invested. So our lawyer ended up converting us from the Florida LLC into a Delaware C Corp. Well, actually, what he really did was he told us to let the LLC die um, by not filing our reports, and then we just established a Delaware C Corp. And then from there we had to go ahead to start raising money. But what we're missing here is there was a long gap between when we converted the LLC to a corporation and when we started to really meet with investors and take money. And I say that because having a Delaware C Corp is pretty expensive, especially when you compare it to just having a regular LLC. An LLC, you only have to pay annual fees, which are about $140 in Florida, and I imagine it's somewhere similar in other states. When you have a Delaware corporation, not only do you have to pay your annual fees, but you also have to pay a corporate tax, and or I should say a franchise tax. And Delaware charges this according to how many shares you've issued or how much money you're making. And even though we weren't making a lot of money or had a lot of shares, we still had to pay hundreds of dollars to Delaware when we could have just paid a lot less to the state of Florida if we were an LLC. And in addition to being a C Corp, our personal taxes were a lot different because on a federal level, um, C Corps are taxed separately from the individual. So if you have a Delaware C corporation, your corporation is going to have to file taxes and pay taxes. And then the individual shareholders, which would be you and your partners, would also have to pay taxes. Whereas if you had an LLC, LLCs are pass through entities. So the the members of the LLC are going to be paying taxes, but you don't have to worry about the actual LLC itself paying taxes. So basically, I think that based off of my experience, if you are a startup and you're just beginning and you feel that there's not going to be a lot of activity going on with your startup and raising money at the beginning, just consider just forming an LLC, keep it simple, and when you're ready to start raising money and you're ready to start taking on investors, then move on to the C Corp because then once you're a C Corp, ideally you'll be getting the investors, you'll have more money, and you'll be able to deal with the more complicated structure of that later on. I don't think it's wise to be dealing with that complicated structure of a Delaware C Corp when there's not really much going on. You should save that money while you can and then just focus on your business and don't worry about these other complications until you're ready to raise money. So, again, when it comes to the question of should I form a C Corp or an LLC for my startup, my preference is you form an LLC at the beginning and then wait to form the C Corp when you're ready to invest. The only way this changes is if you are forming your company and you're ready to seek investment right away. Then you may want to look into forming a Delaware C Corp. But other than that, stick with the LLC for now, and then worry about the Delaware C-Corp until you're ready to actually take and seek investments. So all I got for you for today. Again, this is Sam Bryant from Bryant Taylor Law, and we are a business law firm. If you want to check us out, our website is in the description below. Hope you guys have a great day.